All right, so this is a new kickoff. Normally we did our office hours. They were just kind of come as you need. I'm going to do something a little different, see how it works. So I'll do a different topic every week, and I'll do a quick little presentation in the beginning. If nobody shows up, great, no problem. I'll record myself and I'll share it out so everybody has the presentation and kind of what we went over, and they can look back at it whenever they have the need or have time. And then I'll open it up to questions. So if anybody pops in or pops out the rest of the hour, then they can, and I'll record that as well. And I'll pare down and edit that recording just so there's no dead space, obviously, and provide that to everybody the following day. So like I said, we'll talk about quoting via Canvas app, and then we'll do a quick summary of our commit percent that's about ready to kick off here in the next couple of days. Just a note on commit percent, it's not anything that's really changing for you guys. Right now you use probability. We're just changing the name to kind of align with other BUs and providing you guys some definitions behind them. And so you kind of know why and when to use different commit percentages when you're doing that, which again, it was probability prior. All right, so we'll go over the quoting via Canvas app. I'll show you guys how to access it real quickly. We'll go over a couple of the configuration screenshots, and then I'll get into an actual demo and kind of show you guys what it looks like within the Canvas app itself. So we're transitioning into Canvas app off of the ExpertLogix app that we've been using. And really, we're hoping to make it a little easier for you guys to do things, streamline some workflows, and just enhance the overall efficiency and accuracy for you guys doing your quotes. And I'll just go through these screenshots real quick. The process, you'll have a new button where you'll click on configuration, and it'll take you directly into the Canvas app. You won't have to go through the ExpertLogix anymore. And then these are just kind of the details on how you create each one of them, some screenshots to look at. I'll provide you guys this presentation as well, so you can go look back at it and have some reference as well. So you'll have the cohort information, and then all of the customer information and the dates. Then this next section is all the bundle configuration. So, you know, is it the CMS, CBC, Postgrad, all of that stuff is here for you. So you can, you know, easily add those to the configurations. The next one are the customizations or innovations. So this is where you can remove innovations or add customizations. So this is where, let's say, this doesn't really affect completes. It'll be for more the other ones that you might want to add something to. So like an STO added to like a Supreme or whatever it is you guys would need to do. This is where you would go in and add those solutions to the quote itself. Then your payment summary, this is where you would do your discounting. We are doing an enhancement to where you'll be able to discount on a percentage as well. It's going to be in the next release. So I'll let you guys know about all of that once it happens. It gives you here the current selections for all of the solutions within that quote that you'll be doing over here on the right-hand side. And then finally, your review and save. This is just kind of a review of everything that you've built, and just so you can kind of, before you go and save the quote, and pull all that configuration into the actual quote, where you can kind of, you know, decide, do I have everything I need, or do I need to go back and make changes? And so once you're ready to begin the configuration process, you would just click Save Quote, and then it would run the configuration just like it did previously in ExpertLogix, and then you'd be good to go. The quote would then be saved just like it was before, and you just go about your day and update the quote as you need it, and just follow all the instructions that you did previously within the quoting process. Anything that you did previously in ExpertLogix, that's the only thing that has changed within the Canvas app. So, you know, adding installments or adding additional cohorts to a quote, all of that will be done the same way as you've done it previously on the quote record. Nothing changes with that. Again, it's just building that quote within the Canvas app and getting the configuration to the solutions that we're adding to the quote itself. Now, if you need to go back and edit a quote that you've already configured, it's super easy. You would just go back into the configuration, click edit quote, and it would take you back into where you needed to go. Now I'm going to go in real quick and give you guys a quick demo. Well, I'm just going to go into one of these test opportunities that I have here, and we're going to create a quote directly from this here. So there's multiple ways to do quotes. Just follow however you guys have done it before. You can come up here and do this and do quotes over here as a, I guess they took that away, never mind. So the way you would do quotes is I would go from your opportunity into the quotes tab, and we would just do a new quote. And then you need to put in all of the pertinent information here. One thing I'll call out here is if you decide to do a price list other than 2025, just keep in mind that whenever you build that quote, let's say there's new products in 2025, you won't see those in 2024, 2023 price lists. So it's really important that you make sure you use the correct price list whenever you're doing these quotes for the products that you want. Also, this will also require an additional approval if you use a price list other than this year's price list. So our approval process is anything that's been discounted will require an approval, or anything that uses a price list older than the current price list. I think that's something that we just need to call out because I don't think that's something that was very clear with people, but just keep that in mind. We'll use this price list and we'll just say they're going to buy or pay by semester. I think that's all that's required. We'll save this quote. So that'll allow us to get started over here and start building the configuration. Now you won't have to choose the Canvas app like I just did. That'll just be the only option for you in the development stage. I'm in the testing sandbox. So, okay, so now this is where you would start your process. You click on configuration. It's going to open the Canvas app for us. And I do know with this demo, it's going to run a little bit slower than what you guys are using because I am in the sandbox and they've done some QA and some development work to make it work a lot quicker over in the production instance. So don't stress, it's not going to be this slow as it is here for me. So we're going to go in, we select a bundle. It's going to go ahead and select Supreme. Select whichever program type it is. RN or PN. One thing you have to remember is whichever program type the account is on the account record, you'll also need to make sure that's the same, or else you won't be able to see any of the configurations within the Canvas app. Now that should have been the same thing within the ExpertLogix configuration. That shouldn't have changed. So I think that's pretty much the same. The RN or PN needs to match whatever the account record shows. So now we'll use an existing cohort. This, you can also put in new or no cohorts. We'll just say 50 students, and let's say we're doing 2 installments. And then we'll enter the dates. I'll just put in a date of, let's say, May of 2026. Start date, we'll just say, I think you guys all should be comfortable with how you pick these dates. If you're not, let me know and we can go over that as well. Go to next. All right, this is where you're going to select your assessments. So we'll just select CMS, postgrad, whichever ones we're going to pick. And then this is where you would, if you're going to add on things, so like if you're going to add on the STOs or the real life pick 6, you'll select here. And I'm going to go ahead and select both so I can show you guys how this looks in the next stage of the customizations, because it's a little confusing there as well. And then nursing com, I don't pick that one. Sure. So this is where I mentioned where it's a,
yeah. Sorry, I was just wondering, is there any thought or plan to like kind of sync CRM with this because like for the start dates, for example, like historically it's been on this date. Is there any move to do that, to sync that so that we don't have to input that information because it's already in the system?
So remind me when you guys were using Explogix, did it have that functionality, or is that something that
No.
it didn't? Okay, then I'll make a note and I'll see if that's something that we could possibly put into the next iteration of this. But yeah,
Okay.
thanks for that input. That's great feedback.
Yeah.
Okay, so with the customizations and innovation, so it's a two-step process if you select both the STOs, ads, and the real 9. So as you can see here, that real 9 is not here. And so people have gotten kind of confused as to why didn't we, where do we select that? So this is where your innovations or your STOs would be. And then if you select next, it's going to give you the option to pick your real life pick 9. So we would just pick 9 of these. And then that would allow us to go on to the next stage. No, I guess this would be where you were to add your STO. So this is, we'll just pick that STO, but this is where you could add the STOs to the quote as well. All right, so we're at our payment summary screen. So this is where you would put in your discounts. And let's just say we're going to discount at $50 a student. One thing you have to remember is in order to make this run, you have to click calculate. So then it'll update your totals here as well. So we can show you, like, if we zero that out, then it should update it back to what it was. So yeah. This is also where you would enter any bookstore amount or online semester payout. I think these were options in Explogix as well. Or additionally, if you have rack rates that you need to do an increase based off of per student, you do the same thing here, but you would also remember need to hit calculate to get that done. We'll just put in that 50 like we did originally. And then we pick here our methods for live review right there. And then over here, you'll see your current selections. So this is going to be all of the products or the solutions that are included in this quote. One other thing to call out, this is where you see your discount percent. And just keep in mind, any discount that is discounted 25% or more requires an additional finance approval on top of the director and RVP approval. Unless it's a complete, well, if it's a complete, it still requires the finance approval over 25%. But for complete accounts, the approval goes directly to the RVP and then to Mike for the last approval. And then finally, we go to next, and this is our review and save page. It has all of the information that you have for the quote. Then it gives you a couple of places where you can bounce back and forth. So like if you notice something on the cohort information is wrong, you can click edit it. It'll take you back to that section, and so on and so forth. And this is where we would click save to quote. Now it's going to build that configuration. That's all done now. There's nothing you really have to do here other than go back to summary. I think if you click here, it'll just take you back to that summary page as well. So either way works. Now you'll see we're in the quote itself, and this is where all of the things that happened prior to going into Explogix will continue to happen. Nothing's changed there, like I said. I'll show you quickly to go back into the configuration to make any edits. If you go back to configuration, this is where you'll see that that screen that shows you where you can either delete the quote or edit the quote. So like from here, we would click edit, and it would just take us directly back into the quote that we were configuring. And then you could go through all the steps that you needed to go through to make your updates, just like like we did previously. So you could jump back and forth up here, or you could click edit on whichever ones you needed to go back to edit. Okay, so that was the demo with Canvas app. Pretty straightforward. I've already had some pretty good feedback on it and how much easier it is for you guys. It's just going to be a great change, make things a little quicker and more efficient, and just save some issues along the way whenever you're creating your quotes. Any questions? Awesome. Okay, so last but not least, I'll jump into our commit percent. We'll take a quick look at what exactly this is and why it's important and how it's going to affect you guys once this releases. Now, this release will happen tonight into tomorrow. Again, the only changes you'll see is the probability field will change to commit percent. And again, anything you do or you have done in the past will just continue to be the same. So don't worry about any process changes. This is more just a alignment to other BUs, so we're all on kind of the same page, and then also some definitions for you guys so you understand what exactly a commit percent or the probability should mean to you and how you should use each percentage. So basically what's happened here is the senior leadership team and LISI have asked Ascend and all the BUs to align amongst a lot of the things we do within CRM, not just commit percent. We have some tiering that's going to roll out, customer tiering that's going to roll out as well. You know, the CEP thing that we went through a few months ago, that was all part of this alignment that we're doing. And specifically to commit percent, this is really to help you guys have more confidence based on your forecasting. So really giving you some definitions so you can understand exactly why I'm picking this percentage and why I may not be. It'll really help us and the managers to really look at all your opportunities and really give a better picture and provide clear deal assessment for where the deal is progressing, where it is in this in the process of selling. It's going to help us improve forecasting and really enhance the accountability. So the confidence levels of the opportunities are a lot better, and we feel more comfortable with them. So you guys can really sell a lot more effectively. So just to touch real quick, commit percent is a guided sense of how your deal is progressing. It's the confidence level that you guys have of that deal being won. A very key thing here is it is not the selling motions or activities that you've done. So that's the CEP process that we went through, and those are the stages. So for CEP, you had all of the different stages of where the deal is in the activities that you guys have taken, okay? This is more that guided sense of how the deal is progressing. So, where your comfort level is of this deal and how it's going to be closed. So the definitions that we've put in place here are as follows. 20%, you've had some initial interest from the decision maker, but there's been no firm commitment. 40% is a tentative interest. You've been having active engagement with them, and maybe their funding just isn't certain. They're waiting on some budgetary information that they need in order to move forward. 60 is going to be our genuine interest. You're actively engaged on a regular basis, and they have the funding. Your 80% is you've gotten that verbal go-ahead, and maybe you've created a quote and you sent that quote to them, and you're just waiting on that signature and the go for moving forward with the deal. And then 90% is they've made the commitment, they're ready to sign or make that payment, and you're just that you've gotten that quote back and you're sending it into orders and billings, and you're getting that move through the process. So it's super easy. I'll send all this out for you so you guys have these definitions and you kind of can understand a little more how to use them and the why behind it. But I just want to emphasize it's two separate roads here. So like I said, the stages, those are based on your selling motions or your activities, and your commit percent, which is previously probability, is your guided sense of how this deal is progressing or the confidence level you have to win the deal. And again, just to recap, this is going to be launched tonight. So you'll see this in your opportunities starting tomorrow. And it's really just the name change. Commit percent, it used to be probability. Any questions on anything we went over today? All right,
Yeah,
good
Sean,
deal.
I got a quick question.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So I'm working on creating new quotes and editing them on existing accounts. Can you explain to me the process on why I need to create a new one and the new configuration from the old Explorlogics?
Yeah, for sure. So basically what's happened is if a quote has been created and it has been configured within Explorlogics, unfortunately, that can only be edited in Explorlogics
Right.
because that's where it was created. So with turning off the access to Explorlogics, you can't go in and edit any quotes that were configured within Explorlogics with the Canvas app. So unfortunately, you will have to basically create a brand new quote and then go through that process again for anything that has been configured already.
Gotcha. So it's going to show up as two duplicates essentially, and one's just going to be inactive because it's attached to Explorlogics, and then one just needs to be a mirrored version on the Canvas app.
Yeah, pretty much. And there's an option. I feel like we launched it. Let me go look real quick. You should be able to go in and delete a quote.
Okay.
Let me look real quick because I know we have it in the pipeline to do, but I'm not sure if we actually launched it yet. Because that was kind of a question that we had too. There was a bunch of quotes in draft status that people, they were just kind of filling up people's
Right.
quotes, and we wanted a way to be able to delete those without screwing anything up. And I think we were working on that. So we'll go into this quote. Doesn't really matter. I just want to see if that option's up there. So up here, yeah, it doesn't look like it's launched yet, but at some point you will have an option up here, and I can show you over here. So you'll have an option of close quote, and so you can go into that. And if it's something that you just need to delete or get rid of because it's old or it was lost, you would pick one of those options. So if it is something that was configured in the Explorlogics and now you have to create that mirror, like you said, or a clone, you would use revised, I would say. So we can kind of tell which ones were originally in Explorlogics and which ones weren't. And you would also kind of put in the description, I would say would be best practice. I would not recommend ever creating a revised quote. I would just go in and create, because this will clone it, but it also pull a lot of stuff in that you may not need.
Okay.
So my recommendation, once this gets going, and we'll do a training on it, and I'll have all the training documents on how to use this once it goes live, would be to select no on this so it doesn't create a new one. But there's other options. So like, a quote canceled. So maybe you put something in there and you messed it up and you just need to get rid of it. You would pick canceled or lost. This would be one you would use if you sent the quote over and they're like, now we've decided to go in a different direction or whatever. You would select lost on that one. And this might be something that necessarily, for you, Charlie, for sure, you might not actually go in and do this. This might be the process that maybe the rep does down the road.
Sure.
And they would go in and get rid of them. But, as you're creating them and you need to, clean up your quotes that you've been working on, that's how you will do it once we launch that. And I'll check with Kiana and see when that's supposed to launch, and I'll let you guys know.
So in the meantime, is there not really an alternative for getting rid of existing ones?
There really isn't.
Yeah, like you said, it doesn't really affect me, but just as far as I can let the AMs know when I do finish them.
Yeah, and the biggest problem we have is the way that you could have in the past get rid of them or just close them was you would have to go into the configuration and then basically delete out all of the configuration that you did.
Wipe everything, yeah.
Yeah, but since it was created in Explorlogics and since we shut that down, you can't do that because you can't go into Explorlogics anymore to do that. So what you would have done in the past is go into Explorlogics, delete and clear everything out, and then save it again. And then you would come back in and it would look like this, or it would be no data. and then you would just activate that quote without data, and then it would basically just create a quote with nothing on it. And that was
Gotcha.
that was how previously we were doing things, which wasn't best practice. And that's why I had them create that new option to close the quote, because we needed an easy way to, delete quotes without actually deleting the record altogether.
Right. All right.
Cool.
Thank you.
So that's all I was going to show you guys today. And if you don't have any questions, feel free to log off, and I'll just sit here for the next 30 minutes. And if people pop on, then great. If not, no big deal.
Thanks, Sean. And if we have questions like in a situation, we can always reach out, right?
Absolutely. Reach out directly to me, and I'm happy to help if I can.
All right. Appreciate it so much.
No problem.
Thanks,
Thanks
Sean.
guys.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, Sean. I don't know if you're still monitoring, if you can hear us, but we had a question.
Hey, yep, I'm here.
Yep. And it looks like you're
Okay.
still recording, by the way. I don't know if
Sure.
you mean to be recording still, but you are.
No, you're good. Yeah, I was going to record the whole thing. And
Oh, okay, cool. So
I'm gonna edit it down.
Should I
No
share my
worries.
screen?
Yeah, so Charlie and I were just working together on a quote, and this is an STO quote, Sean, for EHR tutor only. And when we got to this point, it's not like there's nowhere to add EHR tutor. It's just
Yeah, remember, you got to go to the next one.
okay. What do you know? Okay. So if we search there,
Still not there, huh?
yeah, it looks like there's not, like the real life pick 9 looked like it was blank too. So it looks like I couldn't add anything.
Yeah, can you go back to the bundle configuration? Go back one more.
Why did it skip?
And we put all this in, we chose the cohort and everything. It's gone now, but
So weird.
That is weird.
That's just skipped bundle. What the?
well, because there's no bundle, it's STO. That makes sense, but
Oh. Did it do that last time too?
yeah, we jumped right to this.
Yeah, so how do you, you should be able to, the next screen should be able to, where you would pick your STO, right? That's
Yeah.
where you should be able to pick all of your.
That's what I
Have a
thought.
look.
Yeah. Oh, whoa.
Oh, there it is.
It's just
That's
those
just
are
the
kits. Yeah, we're not actually showing the.
So they're
individual
just the products just aren't generated in, I guess.
Yeah, there's nothing in there.
Can you go click on summary for me? The top. Yeah, that's weird. So I think it was because the quote itself wasn't saved when you guys jumped in.
Didn't Dylan? Isn't that when you told me save it before you do this? So didn't I thought I did.
Yeah, I
save
mean we've been saving pretty periodically. I don't know if something just like
Yeah, I don't know.
skipped.
Can you hop into it again? Because I mean, I didn't have an issue, and it worked for me. It was kind of I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see what happens this time.
Sure.
Yeah, 27 part time, right?
Yeah, it's 67 part-time, 19 students. That's already good.
Yeah, see, they're there
Okay.
now.
Yeah, it's all there
Look
now.
at that. All right.
All right. Super weird.
And then if you have any of the real life,
Yeah, this is no real life, so Charlie will go
then
on to
just
the next.
click next, and it'll take you to the STOs.
Oh, good.
And this is
deal.
where you either add STO products or kits.
Sure. Yeah.
Yep.
That's all, yeah. It's next. Good, good, good. Next, yeah.
Yeah, 18 students. What? Oh, okay, sorry. I missed a digit. I was like, the bundle total is wrong, but that's fine. Okay, yeah, all right, this looks good. Thanks, Sean. I don't. It's an interesting bug, I guess, to be aware of. If you get this question again in the future, it'll give you somewhere to start.
Yeah, for sure.
So just
Very
closing
good.
out and saving and going back in is all you did?
Yeah, that's all I did. Well, I didn't even have to do that because it was already saved. So I just went in. I just went in the
After I
configuration.
clicked it.
You would
Okay,
save
cool.
it. Yeah.
Super
All right.
weird.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, no
Thanks,
problem.
Sean. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.